What's good, everybody? If I had $100 million, wait up. I wonder where that came from. Anyway, if I had $100 million, what would I do? And I'm gonna be multitasking. I'm about to be editing one of my podcasts, probably both of them before my client comes in. But if I had $100 million, what would I do? What would I do? And if you had $100 million, what would you do? There's no right or wrong answers, chat. So always feel comfortable leaving your comments below. And yeah, leave your comments below, and vent with me, vent out with me. But if I had $100 million, the first thing I would do would be to make some really smart investments. All right, I would be making some of the best investments I've ever made in my whole entire life. And the reason why is because I want to make sure that I get $100 more million. Right? That's my whole. That's my whole theory. That's my whole motive is to get as much money as I can. You know, yeah, as much money as I can, so I can create generational wealth. A lot of us we don't think about that, but I always think about generational wealth. Whenever I'm gone, what my kids can have, and what my kids will have. So I think about all of that. Now, of course, it's going to take a while before I get that stuff, but that's the whole goal. What up, coach? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, of course. But $100 million. That's not easy to come by. And let's be honest, a large majority of people will not even see $10,000 before they die. You know. So if you can get to $100 million, you're definitely in a tax bracket, and you're definitely in a percentile where not a lot of people see. So that's what I want to do. The Memer 9807. Welcome to the chat. If you had $100 million, what would you do? What would you do with $100 million? If you had $100 million, what would you do? And of course, I do want to have fun as well. Like I want to travel, buy some cars, buy some cars, some houses, buy a lot of land. But my first, well, like I said, the first thing I would do is invest. And me investing could be, of course, buying a lot of land, of course, making sure that I'm invested in some type of stocks, housing, you know, land and housing, and literally just creating more wealth from those initial investments. You know, I would buy nine monitors and a really fast PC, then fly around the world, do some stocks. Okay, that's real. That's real. That's a smart choice. But I have a lot of things written down. Yeah, big house and more wealth would be good as well. So the thing is, I wrote down my the things I would do if I had a whole bunch of money, right? Because I've always been a big believer in making sure that I prepare myself. Because what if it just happens one day? What if somebody just donates $1 million to you, or gives you $10 million or $1 million? What would you do with it, right? So let me see if I have this. Yep, it's in this one right here. A big house and more wealth would be good wealth. So this is what I would do, guys. My investments. I got so many. So I got so many things written down. So I would get a laundromat, a RV park full of RVs, golf courses, rare luxury dog breeds, diamond and gold mines. I would buy that. I would buy some party buses. I would buy some strip club franchises, storage units, charging stations, public African American library and computer center, courier service, old warehouse buildings, farmland, underground bunkers, domestic housing for women, orphanages for children, studio buildings, tobacco store, medical facilities, dental, doctor, plastic surgery, enhancements, and etc. Social media marketing centers, gyms with a full workout facility, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, tennis, golf and rugby fields, gas stations, grocery stores, shopping plazas, metaverse warehouse centers, community colleges with all sports and academic societies, water, oxygen, um, daycare, entertainment centers to be rented out for various events, beauty supply stores, open garages, air pump stations, electric car charge stations, telecommunication telecommunication call centers. Um, what else? Assisted living facilities, cemetery franchises. Yeah, so that's a lot. I mean, honestly, guys, with all those investments that I've already have written down, like if not all of them, because I really thought about that list. I never just wrote it down. I literally thought about all of that because I just want to be prepared. You know, I want to be prepared. That's my whole reasoning behind everything. The more I'm prepared, the better. Because a lot of us, we just don't prepare for stuff like that. $100 million, that's not no money to play around with. So you really want to make sure that you do have something written down just in case it does happen. You never know who's watching these videos. It might be a millionaire, a billionaire, a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire that's watching this, and they're old in age, and they know that they have to get rid of their funds before they die, and you know, they might want to donate it to you, but they want to know what you're gonna do with the money. And if you don't have a list and you really don't know what you're gonna do with the money, they're not gonna give it to you. You miss that opportunity. So I always said to myself, you know, I want to be prepared when it comes to stuff like that. Yo, reluctant, what's good? Hold up, homie. Yo, hold up, bro. I'm ready. Okay, y'all tripping on that. And I've always couldn't even talk. I was always like this too when I was younger. I was like this, right? Because I was always fascinated by Aladdin, you know, and the genie in the lamp. He had three wishes. I always told myself if I was ever in that position, if I had a genie in a bottle, a genie in a lamp, I would automatically ask for 100 wishes. Okay, that would be my first wish to ask for 100 more wishes. You know, seriously, because three, let's be honest, three is not enough. And a majority of time, the majority would use those three wishes like that. I want to sit on my wishes and I want to ponder and really, give some thought to what I'm going to ask the genie. So I was like, I took that same train of thought. I took that same I took the same idea as with what if somebody was to give me $100 million, $100,000, 100 million, 1 million, what would I do with it? You know, what would I do with it? So yeah,
What's up,
what
everybody?
would you
It's Philip
do?
Randall.
What would
What's
you
up,
do
everybody?
if you had $100 million? Okay.
What's up, everybody? It's Philip Randolph, and it's 10 Minutes to Vent. And today we're going to be talking about choosing to be attractive. Okay?
So y'all gonna see my, well, not gonna see, but y'all will see too, but you're gonna hear my podcast, me editing my podcast in the background, and yeah, I'm doing both.
What's up, everybody? It's Philip Randolph, and it's 10 Minutes to Vent. And today we're going to be talking about choosing to be attractive. Okay? Choose.
And honestly, guys, this is something that I do a lot, editing my content. Well, lately, I'm not even gonna lie, I've been doing a lot of raw content, and when I say raw content, like I've been doing my podcast raw. I've been doing my, hold up real quick. 8 p.m. Okay, cool. He told me he was gonna do that too. So I've been doing my podcast, and that doesn't require any editing. I've been not podcast, but I've been doing my lives raw. So it's like I've just been going on live talking, no edits, and I've been getting great results from it. But I'm a firm believer in also just making good content. So I make sure that when it's time for me, when I'm uploading my actual podcast, that I edit. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm editing my podcast right here, as you can see. All right. I'm editing my podcast and just getting them ready to release these because I haven't released any podcast in about, well, almost a week, which is way too long. You know, 1 second, multitasking. My whole plan is to make sure that I'm uploading new content every single day. All right, whether it's live or podcast, but I want to do the podcast too. Before the end of this summer, I want to make sure that I have 100 podcast episodes out. All right, and that means I have a lot more to go. I have over, that means I have 70 more to do. And honestly, guys, I can do about six a day. And six times seven, that's what, 42, I think. Yeah, that's 42 podcasts a week. So, like, let's be honest, guys, it's not that much in a week. I definitely can have that 70. I can definitely have that 70. I can have 70 podcasts, you know. And really, I could have more than that. But, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, it's like I just got to push myself, and making sure that giving, I'm talking about topics that people are searching on YouTube every single day. And that's my whole goal when it comes to releasing content. Like, I'm giving you content that you really want to look for. You know, it's not random. It's literally everything that I do is calculated. Okay, it's premeditated. It's predetermined.
What's up? What's up, everybody? It's Philip Randolph, and it's 10 Minutes.
So that's what I do, guys. I'm not trying to. I'm not just trying to put out any BS. Everything that I put out has substance, and I want it to touch people a certain way, whether it touch you this year, next month, 2 years from now. It's just content that you can come to, you can relax, you can enjoy a good podcast, and if it's something that you really value, you can share it with other people. All right. So that's my whole theory slash goal with these podcasts that I upload, you know. But anyway, getting back on subject, $100 million. If I had $100 million, or if you had $100 million, what would you do? With what would you do with $100 million?
What's up, everybody? It's Phil.
If I had $100 million, like I said before, the first thing I would do would be invest. All right. I mean, I'm investing in I'm investing in different things, and I gave a list of you know initial investments that I would invest my money into, just so I can have more income coming in, so I can have income coming in, passive income coming in. That's my whole goal, is to create generational wealth. So if I have $100 million, I just can't sit on the $100 million. I have to use that $100 million and keep investing it so it can make me another $100 million, or even just $1 million. Regardless, that's my whole goal, is to take money so the money can make money for me. Because if I have money and it's just sitting there, just like my daddy always say, it's not doing anything. So if you want to have anything, any type of money that you have, whether it be $5, $6, $7, 700, $7,000, you want to take some of that money and invest it so it can make money for you. Okay. So that's what I want to do. Like, I want to invest. I want to have. I want to have. One second. If you had $100 million, what would you do? What would you do if you had 100 mil? What would you do? If you had $100 million, what would you do? That's why I say, like, these are conversations that, if I was you, I would definitely really think about, because a lot of people don't think about this. A lot of people don't think about. Excuse me. They don't think about this at all. They don't, and I don't know if they don't want to think about it, but they don't. It's not an initial thought that people just, oh, wow, I have this money. Oh, what I'm gonna do? They don't. And then when that time comes, it's too late, because now, guys, let's be honest, you really don't have enough time to just think about it on the spot. That's why it's so important to write it down. The older you get, the more situations and obstacles you go through in life. Life definitely happens. So it's important for you to write those important things down, so you know and can remember what you might do. When it comes to money, like, that's something you don't want to play with. Okay? It is something that you really don't want to play with. So I always suggest write it down. Write it down. 37. Episode 37. choosing to do positive things with your money, I'm going to choose to do positive things with my money. Of course, now I want to have fun. So traveling, buying cars and buying other little things that I've always wanted to buy. That's definitely in the mix. But my main goal is whenever I do have a lump sum of money, I'm investing. I'm investing. And all the rich and wealthy people that I know, that I follow, they say the same thing about money, right? You use money as a what? As a tool. As a tool. You use it as a tool. And without that tool, it's hard to do things in life. It definitely is. You know, like I had some car challenges last week with my car, and honestly, I've been, having a little bit of financial setbacks the past 2 years. I don't complain about it, but I was thinking about this, right? If I would have made smarter decisions when I was younger, I would have had way more money saved. And when those things occurred, I could definitely just go into my bank account, pull that out, and not even be affected by it, right? Yeah, it probably hurt me, but I wouldn't be affected because my money saved, all that other good stuff. We as people, we keep going, we keep moving. The motivation is like subliminal because we do want to have that wealth at the end of the day. That's why a lot of people play the lottery, they play the numbers because, the hope, the wishful thinking. Man, if I ever win the lottery, man, I hope I win the lottery. So I stopped doing that and I started thinking like the lottery. And when I'm talking about thinking like the lottery, I'm talking about thinking about what I would do if I had the money. What do I need to do so I can make that money more money for me, right? For my family. Because I want to be that person that take care of my family, that gives all my family members jobs, and even people that's not my family, I want to put them in a position where they can have a reliable job and they know that they're not going to be fired no matter what. Um, yeah, you wouldn't be fired, but the only way you would be fired if you're not doing your job, but you have a reliable job. That's what money does, man. Money helps you like maneuver in life easier, you know. I'm not saying money doesn't create any issues because it definitely does, but yeah, you know, this is what keeps us moving, working, and moving every day. That hope, you know, $100 million, and that ain't no joke though. That ain't no joke. Literally, guys, it's like every day, every day is like it's a constant struggle. It's a constant test because I definitely could give up. You know, I could definitely give up. Excuse me, guys. But I see way more in my life. Like I see what can happen if I just keep being consistent. If I keep putting a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there. What would you do if you had $100 million though? What would you do? Talk to me, guys. If you had $100 million, what would you do? What would be the first thing you do? I had somebody say, the memer said he would buy 9 monitors and a really fast PC, then fly around the world and do some stocks. That's cool. Then you could do some content. Yeah, big house and more wealth would be good as well. Okay, great. You know, everybody else said, oil up, homie. Oil up, little bro. I'm ready. Like, that's silly. What would you do with $100 million? $100 million. Like Dr. Evil said, what would you do with it? Just traveling around the world. I get excited when I talk about that because that's my initial goal, right? Once I have all my channels monetized, I want to make sure that I have at least 5 of my channels monetized. Really, I want all of my channels monetized, which is like 10. Well, I have 11 channels altogether, but I want to get all of them monetized, and all those channels pulling in about 15 to 20 a month, and we're good. Of course, later on down the line, those channels are going to be worth way more, but that's what I want to do. I want to live off of the content that I post online, especially through YouTube, Facebook, IG. Well, that's cool, but really YouTube and Facebook. I want to live, you know, off of those social media sites. And I know the more consistent I am with uploading content, the better it's going to become. You know, 100 million. What would you do? Come on, chat, talk to me. I know it's early in the morning. Um, I don't know what you're doing, but talk to me. Talk to me. Let me know what you would do. And like I said before, money is a tool, right? It's a tool. It's good to have, especially when things need to be paid for, when things need to be done. People might be in you might be in a financial barrier, and to remove that barrier, having those funds on deck definitely it it definitely releases a lot of weight off your shoulders and off a lot of weight off of your mental as well. Because let's be honest, right? It's hard to concentrate. It's hard to do your work whenever you know that you have something to pay for. When something's a particular price, um, that can definitely be a little bit overwhelming, you know, to think about and to focus. You know, it's hard. It's hard to focus if you don't have your finances together. Finances is a big part of your living, a big part of life. If you're young, get a head start now. I say this all the time on all of my lives, right? Develop a skill or trade at a very early age. All right? Develop a skill in a trade or skill or trade at a very early age. Your skills will pay the bills. All right? I say that all the time because it's true. It's true. So if you're young, you don't know what you want to do, develop a skill or a trade at a very early age. Okay? Your skills will pay the bills. And that's facts. That's facts. Your skills will definitely pay the bills. All right? So at a very early age, come up or work on a skill or trade at a very early age. And just know that your skills will pay the bills. All right? So I hope you're listening. But if somebody was to give you $100 million right now, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? And a lot of people, the younger me too, I couldn't wait. If I had a big lump sum of money, I couldn't wait to just spend my money, spend. Not thinking at all about saving, right? But that's something that you don't need to be thinking about. You really want to be saving your money. You want to save your money. Start at a very early age, saving money. And even when you saving money at an early age, get your parents to invest that money, or you can invest it yourself. You really got the power in your hands. You got a phone, you got the internet, right? So there's a lot of things that you can search yourself and get a good grasp of understanding when it comes to whatever you really want to do. You start that early now. By the time you get out the house, you can have about $100,000. Even if it's not that much, you can have about $20,000. Nice $20,000 head start, and really do something with it. So just think about that, guys. Think about that. But $100 million, guys, I'm up. If I have $100 million, I'm up. And there's nothing you can do. You can't stop me. None of that. I promise you. I could have had that yesterday. What would you do though? What would you do with $100 million? $100 million. And I know it's like it might be a little hard to think about, hard to put your hands around that. But guys, it could definitely happen. It can definitely happen. It can definitely happen. And too, whenever you have money like that, you do attract a certain crowd of people. Now you attracting other people with money, but you got to be very careful because now you have people coming out the woodworks that wants. Now they want something from you, or they see some type of value in you because all of a sudden you have money. So you have to pay attention to those things, you know. You got to pay attention, deep attention to that stuff. And another thing too, if I had $100 million, another thing I would really do, I would go out on a giving binge spree, a giving binge spree. So I would be giving a lot of my money out as well. At least 100. I mean, not 100, but at least a million of that 100 million, maybe even more than that, maybe $10 million. I will go different random places, depending on how people would be acting, like service wise, and I'm giving good tips, maybe $10,000 tips every day, or 10,000 tips, $10,000 tips if I go to restaurants or whatever like that. Like I'm literally, I'm going wow when it comes to giving the money away, but I'm only giving it away to people who I feel like has earned it, who's genuinely earned it. You know, that's why I tell people, dude, like you never know who's watching, you never know who has the money, right? So it's very important that you do what you're supposed to. That way you're not left out. You know, being left out, man, that's not fun, and it sucks. It sucks. I've missed a lot of opportunity just because I didn't want to listen. So y'all take heed. Make sure you listen to me, and I guarantee you that later on down the line, you will definitely benefit. And I'm being 100% honest with you. 100% honest with you. 100 million dollars, people. $100 million. I'm about to get off because I'm still doing, I'm doing my edits right now, and I don't want to be ignoring y'all or anything like that. But I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. What would you do? What would you if you had $100 million, or if $100 million was presented to you? What would you do with it? You know. And let's be honest, a lot of us don't really know what we would do with it, only because we never thought about it. These are things that you want to think about, especially now when you don't have it, because you never know when it could happen. You never know when it could happen. You know, snap of a finger, boom, and now you got $100 million. Or you enter a sweepstakes, boom, your name pop in, and now you have it. I would hate to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. And little opportunities like that only come once in a lifetime, literally. Once in a lifetime. It's not like it's not like it comes all the time. And we know this. We know this. Mm, the gap is only widening, guys. That wealth gap is only widening. Okay? It's only getting wider and wider. So just think about it. It's only getting wider and wider. if you want to be a part of that wealth, you got to think about the things you're going to do if you did get the wealth. All right? If you got the wealth, what would you do? You know, if you got it, what would you do with it? Because a lot of us, we just don't think about it because it don't be on our minds. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. But when I was younger, it wasn't like I just thought magically, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, somebody would just magically, oh, here you go. I really, no, it don't work like that, guys. You gotta really put your mind to use. That's why I tell all the young people, don't start doing these drugs, no weed, no drink, none of that. You know, let's have a sharp mind. You know, the sharper your mind, the better. And not only that, people take you more serious. People can tell when you own stuff. They look at your eyes, they can smell you, your behavior, and the more sharper you are in the mind, the more cleaner you are as far as dress wise, people take you serious. Okay, I'm not saying people don't take you serious whenever you doped up, but it's hard for me to take a person serious if I know that they own something. You know, if I know they own something, man, I'm not about to. Nope. 100 million dollars. So just think about that. I want y'all all to think about what you would do with $100 million the whole entire day, the whole entire week. Share this to a friend, family member, coworker, anybody who just love podcasts, who wants to vent. What would you do with the money? Just think about it. What would you do with the money? How would that money impact you? You know, how would it impact you? Uh, yeah, just think about it, guys. All right. Well, I'm not about to talk your head off. I've talked your head off long enough. It's Phil Randolph, and we just finished talking about if you had $100 million, if I had $100 million, what I would do with it. And honestly, guys, you know, I could carry this conversation on for hours because I have so many ideas and so many things I would do with the money. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. Until the next live, stay safe, stay blessed, and